Welcome to Wisdom of the Bible channel. As Jesus hung on the cross, his loved ones watched in sorrow, hoping his suffering would end and his spirit would rise to heaven. But that didn't happen. For 3 days, he was gone, and no one knew where he was. From the dark Friday of his death to the bright Sunday of his resurrection, what did Jesus do during those 3 days? The Bible gives us clues about the keys of hell, imprisoned spirits, and the power over death. Jesus himself spoke about this time before his death. The Son of Man will be 3 days and 3 nights in the heart of the earth. The heart of the earth is a mystery, but Paul explains that Jesus first went down to the lower parts of the earth before rising. These words show that Jesus didn't go straight to the Father after dying. He went to a specific place. Was this place hell? And why did he go there? A verse in the Bible says, Christ being put to death in the flesh, preached to the spirits in prison. This hints at why Jesus went there. He wasn't there to free these spirits, though. To understand, we need to know what people believed back then. In the Old Testament, this place was called Sheol. In the New Testament, it was Hades. It wasn't always the fiery hell we imagine today. For Jews at the time, Sheol was where all the dead went, good and bad, waiting for judgment. Jewish beliefs said Sheol had 2 parts. One for the righteous, a place of peace called Abraham's bosom, and one for the unrighteous, a place of pain. The spirits in prison were human souls who died before Jesus came. They were stuck in this realm of death, unable to leave. Jesus went to Hades, where these souls waited, and preached to them. His mission wasn't to suffer, but to confront a powerful enemy who ruled that place. The Bible says Satan held the power of death, controlling what happened to souls after they died. Hebrews tells us, by his death he might break the power of him who holds the power of death, that is the devil. Jesus went into Satan's territory to challenge him. After his victory, Jesus said, I was dead, but behold, I am alive forevermore, and I hold the keys to death and Hades. Keys mean control. Jesus took authority over death from Satan. Why did Satan have this power? It started in the Garden of Eden when Adam and Eve sinned. The Bible says, sin entered the world through one man, and death through sin. Satan, who tempted them, gained power over death. Jesus, being sinless, was different. Death couldn't hold him. He entered Hades as a conqueror, not a prisoner. Paul writes, Where, O death, is your sting? For the sting of death is sin. Jesus, the first to defeat death forever, made a way for others to follow. Jesus preached to the souls in Hades, took the keys, and freed the righteous waiting there. But Satan didn't give up. Though he lost control over death, he began a new fight on earth, deceiving people and attacking believers. When Jesus rose, the tomb was empty. Satan tried to hide this by spreading a lie that Jesus' disciples stole his body. The Gospel of Matthew tells how religious leaders paid soldiers to say this, hoping to stop people from believing in the resurrection. Satan's defeat made him angry. Revelation says, Then the dragon was enraged and went off to make war against those who keep God's commandments and hold to the testimony of Jesus. This led to attacks on the early church. When Jesus died, something amazing happened. Matthew says, The tombs broke open and the bodies of many holy people who had died were raised to life. These people appeared in Jerusalem after Jesus' resurrection. This shows his power over death. The Apostles' Creed, an ancient Christian statement, says, Jesus was crucified, dead, and buried. He descended into hell, and on the 3rd day, he rose again from the dead. This belief wasn't in the earliest versions but was added later to make it clear. Another ancient text, the Athanasian Creed, also says Jesus went to hell and rose again. It was written to defend the truth that Jesus is both God and man. The Gospel of Nicodemus, an old story, describes Jesus entering Hades with a bright light, breaking its gates, and leading out the righteous, like Adam and the prophets, from Abraham's bosom. This was a place of rest in Hades, separate from the place of torment, as Jesus described in the parable of Lazarus and the rich man. In that parable, Lazarus rested in Abraham's bosom, while the rich man suffered. A great gap kept them apart. The righteous, like Abraham, Noah, and David, waited in Hades for the Messiah to free them. But one detail seems to challenge this idea. On the cross, Jesus told a thief, Truly I tell you, today you will be with me in paradise. How could Jesus be in Hades and paradise at the same time? Paradise likely meant Abraham's bosom, the peaceful part of Hades. Jesus promised the thief they'd be there together that day. The Bible says death and Hades will end at the final judgment. Revelation describes a time when death and Hades gave up the dead that were in them. After this, they are thrown into a lake of fire, meaning death itself is destroyed. Jesus' victory had stages. He removed sin's power on the cross, took death's keys in Hades, and will end death forever in the future. The Bible also hints at other prisoners in Hades, fallen angels, locked in chains for judgment, as Jude and 2 Peter say. When Jesus entered Hades, he showed his victory over them too, declaring Satan's defeat. Psalm 16, quoted by Peter at Pentecost, says, "Because you will not abandon me to the realm of the dead, nor will you let your faithful one see decay." Peter said this was about Jesus, proving he was the Messiah. Paul describes Jesus' victory like a general parading defeated enemies. In Colossians, he says Jesus disarmed the powers and authorities and made a public spectacle of them. In Ephesians, he says Jesus led captivity captive, freeing those held by death. Some Christians, like Catholics and Orthodox, see the descent as a real event where Jesus triumphed. Others, like some Protestants, see it as a symbol of his suffering on the cross. Both agree Jesus won a great victory. This belief shapes Holy Saturday, the day between Good Friday and Easter. It's a time of quiet, when Christians think about Jesus' body in the tomb and his mission in Hades. Orthodox hymns sing of Hades trembling as Jesus, the light, enters and breaks its power. These songs tell of a king conquering death's fortress. Jesus' victory means death is no longer a trap, but a passage to God's presence. It shows a love that went to the darkest place to save us.
Hello, dear viewers. Thank you for watching our channel, Wisdom of the Bible. I personally invite you to subscribe to our channel. It supports us and helps us create more videos. Thank you, and God bless you.